Raise your hand if you have had any health goal, right? It could be literally any health goal at all. And part of that health goal was a specific weight loss goal. Me, right? I remember distinctly I was pretty heavy on the I want to be this number. I want to be this number on the scale. And, you know, there are always varying ranges, right? If we're talking about someone that has a little bit of weight to lose, right? A few pounds, whatever it may be, right? The number on the scale isn't as significant as, let's say, as someone who has a significant amount to weight to lose, right? I'm not going to sit here and say no one should care about this scale at all, right? There's always going to be varying levels with anything. Depends on the context, okay? So keep that in mind, because some people have said to me, like, I'm promoting obesity because I'm telling women, like, don't weigh themselves ever, right? But that's not the case. It depends on the context. So keep that in mind while I'm talking about this, because I'm really going to hit on the mindset of the scale, you know, what things, obstacles when we use the scale as a way to measure our progress, all of those things encompassing. So I just want to say there's zero shame about having a number on the scale be your goal. Zero shame in that. Just like I say, there's no shame around like what type of exercise you use, right? Or what type of movement you like, right? Because some of us like more cardio, some of us like more strength training. Although I would love for all of you guys to lift weights, right? And number one goal is to lift weights, build bone density, get stronger. But there's no shame in how you're moving. Just like having a weight loss goal is a very big first step for a lot of people. So we shouldn't be shamed about having a weight loss goal. It just depends on what that goal is, how much worth we put on that number, all those good things that we're going to talk about. So what I am not the biggest fan of is using the scale as our only tool of measuring progress. I don't like using the scale as our only tool of measuring progress. Do you have any idea why? I don't like using it as our only tool of progress because it is very easy. Our weight can truly be affected by so many things. So many things. So it's very easy to be like, I need this number to go down. That's the only way I'm measuring success. And when that number doesn't go down, we begin to think, oh, I am not successful. I'm not doing anything right. Everything I'm doing is like I'm being a human trash bag because the scale's not going down. It's very easy to quit when none of the metrics are moving in the direction that we want them to move. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the scale, because we put so much worth on this number and a body weight goal. That's what I'm going towards here. Not just the scale, but having just a body weight goal. Just that is your only one thing. I'm not the biggest fan of that because that number can change for so many reasons. We'll get into that in a minute. And also, there are other ways that we can see progress. And if that number is not changing, we can be very quick to quit the journey, to give up that journey. Right? I'm sure many of you, I've had clients too that struggle with this, where in the past, the only thing they cared about was the scale changing. And when it didn't, because they were so focused on a body weight goal, when they didn't reach that goal every single day or get inch closer to it every single day, they were pissed off, they were mad, they wanted to give up. That's why I'm not the biggest fan, because your health journey is not going to be linear. There's going to be dives, hills, turns, twists, all those things. And if we are only using one thing to measure our progress, it's so hard to stay consistent. So very hard to stay consistent. When we do see a drop in the scale, right? Anyone can really drop weight very fast. And I say weight. I say weight because losing weight on the scale, digits on the scale, is not the same thing as losing fat. When women say, oh, I have this number, I'm going to be so happy once I hit that number, right? I've seen time and time again, including myself, where I hit that body weight goal and I still was not happy. Can anyone guess why I would not be happy? I was not happy because losing weight is not the same thing as losing fat. And so many times where I wanted to lose fat to look more toned, I would lose weight, but I didn't have the muscle underneath to show more. So when I lost the weight, I still looked, you could say, like skinny fat, soft in the areas I didn't want to look soft. It wasn't the look I was going for because I was chasing this number when in reality I needed to build muscle. That's why I'm such a big proponent of building muscle, because that is what can truly change your body, not just getting to a number that we want to be at. So one of the things I always remind people and remind my clients who feel like they are stuck on hitting a certain number on the scale is that, like, what year was this? I think when I was like in high school or so, I was like, I want to be X amount. I think it was like 110, 115 pounds. And for someone that's like 5, I would say 5'6", but over 5'5", 110 pounds does not look good on me. It does not look good. I feel too frail. My menstrual cycle was totally irregular. I was always cold. I couldn't regulate my body temperature. I was very quick to snap because I was starving. I had to monitor my food so closely. I didn't have any room to go out and do stuff and go to dinner. It created a really poor relationship with my body, with food, with the scale for me. I wasn't really able to build muscle because I was not eating enough food because I was trying to maintain such a low body weight that my body wasn't able to have a healthy menstrual cycle. So many things in my body were not working right because I was trying to be so small. I was trying to reach for this number. So at you could say, my target weight that I wanted to hit, I was probably the unhealthiest I've ever been in my entire life. Now I'm like 20, 25 pounds heavier than that, and I'm much healthier. I made it through a whole autoimmune disease and super healthy coming out of that. I am lifting weight. I'm stronger. I'm able to lift heavier weight. I feel more confident in my body. I can pick up heavy things. I have a healthier menstrual cycle. My body's healthier. I don't get as cold all the time. Not so quick to snap when I'm hungry. All of those things, because I'm not focused on a specific goal. I even think back to like one of my first nutrition coaches, and she was like, "What's your goal body weight?" And I was like, "I just want to look jacked. I just want to look strong." Right? So I'm not tied to a number. And when we are constantly chasing a number, that number can change. So many times women are like, "I want to be this specific number," and they get to that number and they want to be lower. They want to be lower. They want to be addicted to seeing it get lower. Being a smaller number does not automatically mean you're going to be healthier and happier. It doesn't. A lot of times the complete opposite, which is sad and scary. So one thing I also want to note when it comes to going towards this rudimentary, I know that's the correct word, but going towards this number that we're so obsessed with, and we're using this scale as our one metric of success, is that, like I said, it's hard to stay on that path when the scale is not changing. If we're only using one metric of success, right? Only one thing. Great example, when I was working to get through an autoimmune disease journey and getting off the medication, that was like my only thing I was really focused on, was like, get off the medication. And I was blindsiding myself to all the wonderful ways that my body was getting healthier and stronger. I almost gave up. Only a year, which is crazy to think about, into the journey, I almost gave up because I was like, I'm still not at my goal yet. I'm still not off this medication, which is the same thing so many of you guys say, but just in a different context of, I'm just not my goal weight, why am I trying? I'm not there yet, why am I trying, right? So many of us say that. Just 4 months later, did I think I was going to be getting off of that medication? No, I did not think that. But I started looking outwards and saying, okay, what other areas are things getting better? What other areas is my health improving? Right? Then I started realizing, oh, things are getting better. Things are moving in the right direction. When I detach myself from that one outcome that I was obsessed with, I could see everything else improving. The same thing with the scale. When we can detach ourselves from that and see all the other ways our health is improving, you are much quicker and much easier able to continue staying motivated towards your healthier lifestyle because you're not focused on just one small thing. What other ways can we track and see progress besides seeing that scale drop? A great example in the Start to Lift challenge right now, I did not ask them to measure their body weight. Did not ask them to measure their body weight. What are they measuring? Things like what their food intake's like, are they hitting their workouts, are they getting daily movement in, all these other things that is so much more complex, and almost in all these things I'm going to explain, they contribute to the end result, right? Another great one is progress pictures. It shows you. I have a private client, and her progress pictures look so different from when we first started working together, so different. The scale difference isn't much, but she is completely different, and her body is holding weight completely differently. You could say, oh, well, she didn't lose weight. She's not, what's the point? But everything about her life is changing to where seeing the scale go down eventually is going to be so much easier. Things like progress photos, things like measurements, how your clothes are fitting, things like how is your energy? Is your energy improving? Are you able to go on walks more and get less out of breath? Another private client told me she's able to hike and she's not so worried about her ankles twisting while she's hiking. That's huge, right? That's not something the scale can tell us that happened, right? The scale is such a small thing. If your energy is improving, if you're getting better sleep, if you're showing up for yourself, if your mindset is improving, all these things are so far removed from the scale. But also, when we are making progress in those areas, it's almost impossible for the scale not to change, which is why detaching yourself from that being the only one thing that we can see progress from is so freaking important. Making sure I didn't forget anything. Oh, workouts. If our workouts are improving, is our form getting better? Are we able to lift heavier weight? Are we doing more reps? Is our sleep better? Are we able to regulate our stress and reduce stress more? All of these things that lead us to being happier, healthier, stronger, that don't have to go with a specific body weight goal, right? Because getting to that goal weight does not automatically mean you will be healthier and happier, stronger, and like your body more, because a lot of times we need to build your body so that we have the body that we're looking for, right? We don't get toned by just losing weight. We don't get toned shoulders, toned arms, a perkier butt by just losing weight. We get that by building the muscle, right? So when you do lose the weight, you can see it better. That's why I'm such a big proponent of getting stronger. Pound that into your head. Get stronger, I'll get to my goal faster. Okay, making sure I did not miss anything here. So your take-home message, guys, is don't feel like the scale is the only thing, or a body weight goal is the only thing you're allowed to focus on. You're allowed to have more things. I would even say write down 3 things after listening to this. What are 3 things that I can focus on, or 3 goals I can have for my overall health that I can work towards besides a specific number on the scale? Okay, let's say number 1 is like, I want to have more energy. I love that. Number 2 is like, I want to sleep more at night. Maybe number 3 is I want to hit my workouts 3 times a week, right? All those things, workouts, energy, and sleep, when you focus on those, the scale, the body weight goal, that will just happen as a positive consequence, right? In a good way. An effect of focusing on those things gives you that end result. That is why I'm so passionate about, let's not focus on the body weight, because the body weight goal is irrelevant, because half the time we don't even like our body at that weight if we're not focused on building our body. Half the time we're going to quit that journey anyway. If we're just focused on one thing that's so small in the scheme of everything we're doing, we'll probably quit that journey anyway. I would love to know, guys. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, if this was helpful for you, if this gave you some things to think about to detach from the scale, the number, the body weight goal. comment below some things that you are going to work towards now to help you focus on things other than just how much your body weighs.